Dude, this Type 93 flamethrower looks like a modern household gas pipe. It's so thin. I've been told that it looks like a really strange Romanian Christmas tradition where they use what looks like a Japanese World War II flamethrower to cook bacon. Kind of gruesome, I know, but imagine being the inventor of these Japanese flamethrowers. His legacy of the most large-scale war in history is now used in Romanian pig farming. You should know the story by now, if you were here when the Stalingrad or Tunisia campaigns were released for Enlisted, that the devs have finally released all of the weapons and vehicle unlocks for the Pacific campaign. Now they are starting off with a whopping 26 levels, but bear in mind that all campaigns are likely to have 40 base levels as a maximum. That means in many campaigns we're already approaching the end, unless of course they add some other progression or prestige systems, which I have recommended numerous times for the devs to include, as there is nothing to accomplish in each campaign after grinding each one, and those that do grind them are so used to the grind and expect to grind, but if there's literally nothing at the end for these players, it feels empty. But the Pacific will still have 14 more levels to be released interspersed amongst all future updates, so that is something to look forward to. That leaves plenty of room for speculation beyond these 26 levels, especially as from a first glance at these weapons and vehicles, the devs seem to be including both the late and early Pacific Wars together. So let me know in the comments what you guys think is missing. Diving straight into it then, right at the start it says that those of you who are already familiar with the US Army and Enlisted will be happy to see some familiar weapons. Happy is a brave word to use there. Yes, Darkflow, I am very happy to be using the M1903 Bloody Springfield for the third different campaign as my starting weapon. Happy. But the level 1 rifle for the Americans is new, albeit only a very slightly different version of it, and the Japanese have a whole host of new stuff alongside all these new allied variants of weapons. Now this I am pleased about. These different variants of weapons, even if they are basically the same in performance to other rifles, it's still so important for the game to have, and it doesn't even need to be a different variant. If we removed the USMC part here, the Springfield 1903A1 is a sniper class weapon in Tunisia and Normandy, but here it has its scope removed and acts like a traditional bolt-action rifle now. Yes, it basically looks and acts almost no different to the first rifle.
Hang on, let me finish.
But it is slightly different. I mentioned how important uniqueness of the campaign was in my previous Pacific predictions video, which you should watch as many things are still important to know for today. Darkflow can't just invent new weapons out of thin air for these campaigns, so to see these variants, even if there are other more glaringly obvious missions from the campaign trees for these factions, is still a big step in the right direction. Now personally, I don't really care if they are historically accurate weapons or not, as long as they were there or thereabouts in the Pacific campaign as a whole. Whether or not they were just prototypes or actually were army adopted weaponry, I just don't mind.
This man has got a set of bollocks on him.
I personally think it would be worse if the devs used more historically accurate mainstream weapons that were copied and pasted from the Normandy and Tunisia campaigns than if they used weapons that are unique but may not have even been so common in this theatre. Uniqueness and desire to play the campaign is so important, therefore having this new stuff will persuade many to grind for it. And if you want to grind and play this campaign with over 650 players from my community, then you need to join my Discord server. I'll be there on this campaign release playing with you all, as we host a massive event trying to get as many 4 stacks as possible. Psst, and by the way, you know there's also a premium squad giveaway on our Discord server. Hint hint, all you need to do is join and click the enter giveaway button. That is it. It's free. Now yes, I know that there are many of you watching this video now thinking, Major McDonalds, how dare you say that historical accuracy is not important? In fact, what I actually said was that it is important, but it's perfectly acceptable to use less common stuff if it adds variety and uniqueness to each campaign. I've seen many comments saying that people are disappointed with the levels, citing these historical accuracy reasons, and you have a point, don't get me wrong, but I also think we're not considering how unique it will make this campaign to use experimental weapons and just versions of different things. Therefore, it has desirability to play and to grind. So honestly, I think the devs have hit the nail on the head with this one. Good job, Darkflow.
Oh, let's go! That's class!
month. And luckily for all you history buffs out there, there are still 14 more levels to come in for both sides, plus premium squads and gold order weapons and vehicles. So if I am missing something, then you had better comment on this video with its name and put it on the forums. We know that the devs listen to communities of content creators like myself and you guys. And speaking of listening to content creators, hitting that red subscribe button just below the video is also important to let the devs know you enjoy my content and that they can trust me to provide news to you guys as and when it's released. Go on. The devs are watching. Now, I'm not just going to read this news release out loud for you as you can all read yourselves. I mean, I hope. I mean, if you can't, then maybe if you click that like button on the video, you'll suddenly be able to read English fluently. I mean, it's far-fetched, but you'll never know if you don't try.
I had a very hard time believing this was true.
Instead, I'll just cover some of the important themes of these levels that you guys should be aware of. On the topic of uniqueness, I've gone and counted every unique weapon and vehicle in the American campaign tree, where in this case, unique means things that are not present in any other campaign for free, excluding premium squads. Doing so, a whopping 16 out of 26 levels have new stuff, which is so much higher than I was expecting for the Allied army. I was probably thinking around half of that number would be new. And if we look over to the Japanese side, every single level is brand new. 26 brand new Axis weapons and vehicles. What's not to like? Now yes, some of you are probably thinking the Arasaka Type 38 carbine is present in the Moscow campaign for the Allies, but it's a premium squad. You can't get it for free, as I said before. In addition, some may refer to the MP28 at level 15, but in fact, this is a unique weapon as it's a new variant. As we also said before, sure, it's not going to look much different, but it is fundamentally a unique thing. And if any of you aren't calling this katana a new weapon because there are other swords in other campaigns as past event rewards, then the Emperor definitely does not see you as a true warrior. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hyped. And if you want to know all the other amazing features from this update, then you really need to watch this video. But one concern I have is that we don't know what level is the unlock for engineers. Now, if you've seen my famous video showing you how to improve at the game, you'd know how vital engineers are to win games and level up super quickly. The two possible levels for these, given the earliest times you unlock newer bolt-action rifles, are either level 3 or level 10, but it could be even later. If it is level 10 or later, then that is a real problem. Darkflow, please don't do this.
It's happened again. It's happened again.
The Tunisia campaign already has this problem. You only unlock the most crucial class in the game at level 9. It needs to be level 3. If you don't believe me on how important this is, you just need to check my video showing you the strategies for how my team became the first ever enlisted world champions. There's also questions about weapon and equipment balance across both campaigns, but honestly, they haven't done that bad of a job at balancing it, especially by including these experimental or rare weapons. I see many people complaining, but in reality, you will hardly notice any differences. Sure, there is this level, a bolt action versus an M1 Garand, and a shotgun versus a sword at this level, but it is balanced enough as swords are going to have some insane mechanics and the shotguns are nerfed. But other than this, what can the devs realistically do? Plus, considering the huge variety of different levels players are going to be in each of these battles in the Pacific campaign, you can't notice these individual level balances. I refuse to believe anyone can. I think players worry way too much about the balance of each individual level against its faction's counterpart. I never notice a weaponry balance issue on any other campaign, and I am sure others don't. People need to remember, we are just gamers. We aren't World War II veterans.
So, let's not take the piss here.
I certainly wasn't.
Well, I think you are.
But the devs also released a big dev blog late in the day on Friday. I honestly thought they'd give us information about updates and levels to the other 5 campaigns aside from the Pacific, but I guess they're saving that for next week. Yet, these optimization improvements are amazing. So many people in my Discord tell me that they have issues with graphic settings, FPS drops, and more. So it's amazing to see these developments. Enlisted will be more beautiful and efficient. Sweeter words have never been spoken, although if they said we're fixing grey zone camping. But this development blog reads more like a story, and it actually explains what the devs were thinking with every step. I love it. If the devs are watching this video, and I know they do, then please make more things like this. I am sure that the player base appreciates it. If you're struggling with FPS drops or poor performance of the game, I really encourage you to read this dev blog in your own time, no matter what platform you are on, including consoles on both new and old gen. The only thing they should add next time is that they should be more specific about what these high performance and stable stable FPS settings are and what actually are the best settings to achieve high performance. This would allow everyone to really benefit from these changes that they're making, which I'm sure they want us to do. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this image, is this a leak? It doesn't look like an existing map that I can think of, and I can't quite make out what is in the distance with this tower-shaped thing, nor these buildings. But maybe it's absolutely nothing, and I'm just going insane.
Oh my God, I feel terrible. I feel terrible that I'm living in your head rent-free.
But equally, it could be a subtle hint to something. Let me know in the comments what you think. But these two are for sure Pacific campaign maps, and now I'm so hyped. If you are curious about what the other new key features are for the Pacific campaign, then watch this video. And if you want to see what major aspects were introduced in the last major update, then watch this video on Burning Sky. I want to say a massive thank you to my patrons, YouTube channel members, and Discord server boosters, all of whose names are on screen now. Nevertheless, it's been an absolute pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.